Chrome 62 is out, and they have enhanced some features to help you debug your service worker cache. Hey guys, Chris Love, the owner of Love to Dev, and today I want to cover a few things about the Chrome developer tools to help you manage your service worker caching. In the last week or so, which basically is mid-October 2017, Chrome 62 shipped, and they added a few new features to the service worker cache interface to help you manage things through the developer tools. And these are some very much needed feature enhancements to the service worker cache interface. So let's get started. The first thing is additional information is being displayed. Now in the past, you would have the path, and then you would have essentially OK or blank. Typically was stored there. I think right towards the end they got to a couple of other things. But now we've got the MIME type, which is also the content header, is being displayed, and that can be very useful to troubleshoot some potential issues. You also have the size of the actual file, which is the content link value, and when was the file cached. So you can see how long has it been sitting there in cache. So this is all extremely helpful, extremely useful to help debug things. But additionally, if you actually select the item, and this is where things get really awesome too, is you get some of the features that we get in the network panel right here in the cache as well. Now realize this is going to show you what was actually persisted in the service worker cache. So that gives you some insight into what is actually being rendered or retrieved back to your UI from your service worker. So you get the headers tab here, and that's going to give you the actual URL that was used to get the resource from your server. In this case, I'm doing locally, so it's got localhost, the actual method, the status code, which typically is probably going to be 200, and you're probably going to have get as far as what you cache. That's what you're looking for. But you're also going to see response headers. Now, because I'm doing localhost, I don't have any of these, the cache control header kind of things set per se, and that's why you got the max age equal -1. I would not do that for a production site, but these are there. But it gives you insight into what's going on, and I think that's pretty awesome. And additionally, you can also see what is actually stored in your cache, and this I really love because now I've got the ability to actually see the markup or the CSS, the JavaScript, and I believe if I scroll down, I think I've got some images in here as well. Well, this is a font. That's a font file. Here's a GIF. So yeah, there we go. You can actually see the image. So that is really awesome. Now what I'm going to do here, as long as my little server will honor it, I'm just going to delete all these out, and we're going to hopefully go see this. There it is, kicks in. Okay, good. Now in the past, one thing that drove me bonkers was having to come over here and manually refresh the actual service worker cache. Another thing that drove me nuts is this refresh button was always down here at the bottom. It just was just not in the right spot for a good experience. But now we've got the ability to, I believe this will work too. There we go. You can see this is a special cache I have set up where product images are being stored. That way I can kind of control how many product images are being persisted in the cache so it doesn't get like massive. Okay, and as you can see, I don't have to manually refresh anything. As soon as something is put into that particular cache, it is also reflected over here as well. And I believe if I go to O2, we should see it reflected there. There we go, right there. O2 shows up in our cache. We don't have to do anything. So just to recap, some great new features have been added to the Chrome developer tools as it relates to service worker cache. First off is we get more details about the actual asset being stored, like the content type, how big the file is, and when was it added to the cache, and that is very important to me. We also get to look at the headers. We got the general header, the response header. We even got the request headers. We didn't see that on the other ones, so that's pretty nice. We also get to see what headers do we send down to the server to actually get the response. And that can be very useful with service worker caching, because you can actually manipulate the request. Even though it's ultimately getting the same file, you could manipulate the request slightly to trigger a different one. Let's say you're looking at internationalization. You could pass down a different language header, and the response could be different. So you could actually cache for different languages, which, you know, it's possible. And then we also get the preview here. But another key advantage of the updates to the service worker cache interface is that now I don't have to manually go back and refresh the cache to see what has changed as I go through. It'll automatically change right before your eyes. So if you've had a little frustration with service worker caching and troubleshooting and debugging, I think the Chrome 62 developer tools have added some great new features to it. Also, the next day or so, I plan on showing a very similar video on what's available in Microsoft Edge as far as managing the service worker cache. So definitely want to subscribe to the channel, that way you don't miss out on that video. If you got any questions about service worker caching, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. Love to interact with you on that.